Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down.
Hi everybody, welcome to the video today. Welcome to another Craftmas video. I hope you've been enjoying the ones that you have seen so far. Today I want to do a walkthrough of last year's December daily. Now I know up until this point I have not been all that crafty. I've been sharing some organization and some Christmas things, but don't worry, we're going to have some craftiness this Craftmas. I'm going to be doing some Christmas tags. That's coming up next week. I think I'm going to make a Christmas card with you guys. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do for my Christmas cards this year, and then I will be doing some memory keeping. So don't worry, the really crafty videos are coming. There have just been a few things that I wanted to share right away and show you where I'm at with things. So let me show you my last year's December daily and how and why this has all happened and what I'm doing this year for December daily. So I have done December daily for several years. I have several albums. I always put them out during Christmas time. They're part of my Christmas decor, and then that way we can enjoy them and look at them, and I love doing them. I sort of did this even way before I even knew there was such thing as a December daily. I have some traditional albums that I did many, many years ago, and then in recent years I've done 6x8 albums. It just seems like it's what works really nice. It is what also works when I'm displaying my albums. So this is last year's album. I have a container here of things that I was using last year, and I have that out. And I did this, I put this together. This is a 6x8 album by Stampin' Up. It's just the craft album with the black spine, and then I cover it. I have a ton of those on hand from when I was with Stampin' Up. And it's what I typically use. The rings, it's not huge. You know, I think Allie Edwards are like 1.5 inches, so I think you get like another half an inch with hers. I've never had a problem fitting all of my December daily in these albums, and so it's just what I use. They're really easy to cover. Last year I used some glitter paste and I covered the spine, and I used basically the entire container of glitter paste. I didn't think that I was going to need to use all of it. I thought it was going to be a little bit easier to cover it, but it was really a mess. I don't think that I would ever do that again, but I'm glad that I did it. It's not flaky, so the glitter doesn't really come off or cause any issues. It just took a long time to do it. I would have to do a layer and then I'd have to let it dry, and it takes quite a long time to dry, and so then I was like stuck not being able to like do anything with the album. So I like the way that it came out. I just don't know that I would do it again. And then I covered it with paper. This was paper from Stampin' Up, and I used this collection in this album. I covered the front and the back, so it's the same. I added some ribbon like I always do to the front, and I display them like sort of like this, so the fronts do show, and that's why I like to do something on the front of them. And then inside I did the front and the back. Back here. And so I really like the way that came out. The first page I did was a vellum page. So this is just a piece of vellum. Now, my family is very familiar with my memory keeping albums, and they are gentle with them. I've always taught my kids to be gentle with them from the time that they were babies. They've looked at albums, and it's just something that I taught them. I'm a really big believer that if you just want your kids to, you know, treat something well, you teach them. Like, I was not the parent that didn't put up a Christmas tree or didn't put up decor or didn't put out albums because I had kids and they might get ruined. I just taught my kids to be respectful, and particularly with albums, to be respectful of the album and what I've done. And so even though this is really, you know, it's flimsy, it's vellum, I'm not worried about it at all. And if for some reason it did get torn out, it's not a big deal. I usually decide on like what I'm doing or how I'm going to do things or how I'm going to approach things or like a layout for my album. Last year what I did is I decided to do all 6x8 full page layouts. So basically traditional layouts within a 6x8 framework. So here's my title page here. I did some stamping. I use a lot of gold at Christmas time. It's just something that I enjoy doing. And then here was probably going to be my title page, maybe I don't really do a reason why, but I was probably going to stick some journaling in here. And then I know there's a bit of a glare. And then here is a full page photo, which is not even attached because I'm sure that I got this printed in January after the holidays. I just stuck it in there thinking I would go back and finish it. Now, I ended up not finishing this album. I just ran out of time. I ran out of momentum. Kayla had her first musical production last year, and then I got sick at the end of the month, and it just was really crazy. And so about the middle of January, I put this away and I thought I'll finish it next year. I cannot handle trying to finish it. I have other things going on. And so I always knew that I would finish it this year. So this is the first page here, advent calendars, and I just did a couple photos. If you are watching Craftmas every day and you're checking it out, on my blog, on the blog post that I'm sharing with photos of whatever project I'm working on, I'm also sharing my December daily pages for this year, because this year, physically, I'm finishing this album and working on getting this album finished. So I'm working with physical product with this album. And then I'm doing all of my December daily pages this year in a digital form, and I'm sharing those on my blog so you can see them. And then that way I will finish this one and wrap this one up, and then I will be done with my December daily 2024. And so at the end of the season, I will be totally caught up, and then next year I can evaluate the situation and decide what I want to do. Originally, I thought that I might start doing last year's album in the current year, meaning I would finish this album this year, take all my photos for December daily, and then next year work on 2024. And then at the end of 2026, work on 2025. I don't know that I like the idea of that. I don't know. It's a whole year that goes by. And I just think when you're engaged in a memory keeping project in real time, your journaling and your creativity is reflective in that. So I do want to be caught up by the end of this year with both projects and just have next year as a clean slate. So the next page here is just getting our Christmas tree. I do have journaling to add there. This is decorating the tree. I did use a couple of the pocketed pages. I just cut them down, or I used the 3x8s that I have and added pockets into that. And then here is our tree. This was decorating our tree here and here. This was a story about my husband's work. This was decor around the house. This was a production Kayla was in. This was probably that night. This is Christmas movies and my son sleeping in my office because we oftentimes have family here during the holidays and everything gets disshuffled. And then that's where it ended. You can see, like, then the next as we go into it are just the photos. So I do have photos printed and slipped into pockets here. And there's multiple, like this one has multiple photos. Wrapping presents. This pocketed piece, and then you can see that I also did a couple pages like with it, you know, a little further in. Here was Andrew having cookies, and then I have photos and post-it notes, and then a insert here. And then this is Christmas Eve, and then Christmas. And then back here, I have a pocket that I made that just has a couple extra Christmas cards that we got, a couple that I wanted to keep. And so I added that there to the back. And then that's my December daily for last year. Like I said, I'm working on getting this finished. You'll see process videos for some of these layouts that I will do. And then I will probably keep it really simple so that I can just get them done and this finished. I probably won't be really elaborate, but that's okay. It can be simple. I'm so glad I have the photos and I have those in place. I have some items that I was using here, and then some paper and stickers and ribbons here, and that is what I am using. It is what I was already using last year, so I will just continue to use those items. I have those 2 containers out, and that's what I will work from. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my December daily for last year. I will have photos on my website, and then on my blog post each day. Again, I'm sharing my digital page. I'm also sharing that on Facebook. My Facebook page is Life Simply Crafted, and every day I am popping up whatever I have done for December daily for that day. So if you want to follow along and see that, you can do that. And I will do something to the front as well, and hopefully you will see that in the coming weeks. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, checking out my December daily. Thank you for being here and watching Craftmas. I hope you're enjoying it, and I will catch you in my very next Craftmas video. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. There are 2 other videos here on the screen that you can check out. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That helps YouTube be kind to me, and I would love it if they would be kind to me this Christmas season. I hope you're all having a wonderful start to December, and I will catch you in my next Craftmas video.